Hello and welcome to the Recipes with Ray podcast. Today we're talking about summer produce, those fruits and veggies that are at their best in those summer months. I am in the United States, so my summer is, in my mind, from June through August, September. So that is the produce and the region that we're going to be focusing on today. So first and foremost, why should you care? There are several reasons that it is a wise idea to focus on buying and eating fruits and veggies that are in season around the same time that they're harvested. For one, it can be cheaper because there's a lot of supply, and having a wealth of supply can bring down the price for the consumer. Second, the fruits and veggies are allowed to ripen naturally, and so they are picked when they are ripe and then they're brought to market for you. With that, you are getting the peak nutrient value of the food as well as the peak flavor of the food. So let's get into it. I am mixing together fruits and veggies, and we're going to go in alphabetical order, and I'll give you little tidbits of information as we go. So to start, we have apples. I think of apples as a pretty fall fruit, but they're kind of just always in season, it seems to be. Then we have apricots, and all stone fruit are summer fruit. So we'll get to the rest of them later, but apricots are a stone fruit, and those peak in season between May and July. We have avocados, bananas, beets. Beets are a root vegetable, and so they are technically in season all year, but they have a peak between June and October. And it's not only the beetroot that is edible, you can also eat the beet leaves. So beet greens are also, they're edible. So we can put beet greens on the list as well. We have bell peppers, which are in season between July and November. And I'm pretty sure I knew this, but I always forget, or it's just something I don't think about. You have your green bell peppers, you have your yellow, orange, red, and I think I saw that there are purple and white ones as well. They're all the same plant. It's just how long the pepper is left on the vine to ripen. And the longer it's on the vine, the riper it gets and the sweeter it gets. And the riper the bell pepper, one of my sources said, the more antioxidants there are as the pepper ripens. We have blackberries, which are in season between May and September, but they peak in June and July. Boysenberries are in season in early summer. Blueberries, which are in season between April and September. And for me, I'm used to them being a mid to late summer fruit. And a source of mine said they're technically purple from the antioxidant called anthocyanin. Just a random fact for you guys. Butter lettuce is in season between June and August. Broccoli is in season in the summer, regionally more in the Midwest and on the coasts. Then we have cantaloupe, carrots, celery, chard, which is in season between late spring and early fall, so Swiss chard. Cherries are in season between May and August, and cherries are a good source of potassium. A lot of fruits and veggies are good sources of a lot of good things, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants. So when they're in season, like I mentioned at the beginning, they tend to be cheaper because of the large supply of them, or they tend to be on sale. So stock up when those fruits and veggies are on sale. Your body will thank you. Corn is in season between May and September. Corn is just a summer classic. Corn on the cob, you know. Cucumbers are in season between May and August. Eggplant is in season between July and October. And eggplant is a member of the nightshade family. And I don't exactly know what the nightshades are, but it makes me think of Wednesday, the show on Netflix with Wednesday Addams. And if you know, you know. It's a good show. I enjoyed it. I have not made many things with eggplant. I think I have only made baba ganoush, which is like hummus but made with eggplant. So you roast the eggplant and then you mush it and you add other things into it, and it creates a dip. And I didn't really know what I was doing. There's so many little seeds in eggplant, and I was like, how am I supposed to get these all out? But I don't think you're supposed to take them all out. It was just, I didn't know what I was doing. But another popular eggplant dish is eggplant parmesan, and I'm sure there are a lot of other recipes out there that I just haven't discovered yet. Figs are in season around June. Garlic, garbanzo beans. Now, I don't know where garbanzo beans grow. Do we grow them in America? I would assume so, but I don't know, and I didn't look it up because I didn't think it was pertinent. But we're talking about fresh. Fresh garbanzo beans are in season in the summer. Garbanzo beans are also known as chickpeas, and they're the main ingredient in hummus. The next summer produce item we have on the list is green beans, and they're in season between May and October. And gooseberries. I've heard of gooseberries, but I've never had a gooseberry. Herbs are in season in the summer. Think basil. Basil is in season, probably its peak between June and August. Then we also have parsley, rosemary, thyme, sage, and mint. But mint is a year-round herb. And these all may be year-round herbs. It just depends on the growing conditions. Honeydew melon is in season between June and October. And one of my sources said that honeydew melons are the sweetest of the melons. And I don't believe it. But the source says they have more natural sugar than cantaloupe and watermelon. I have eaten all three of these melons, and honeydew is typically my least favorite. But if there's more natural sugar, who am I to argue? Lemons are in season, lima beans, limes. Limes are in season between May and October. Marionberries. I have not heard of marionberries. Mangoes are in season. Nectarines are in season between May and August. And my source said they are a climacteric fruit, meaning they ripen after harvest, meaning it's picked from a tree. Nectarines grow on trees, right? I assume, like a peach tree. So nectarines are picked, and once they're disconnected from their source of nutrients, allegedly they continue to ripen. Now, maybe this is true, but I think of it may have been a Good Eats episode whose host was Elton Brown, and he said that fruits can't ripen after they're picked, or vegetables, like fruits and veggies don't ripen after they're picked. They just soften. So maybe there are select fruits and veggies that do continue to ripen after they're picked. If you know, let me know. Then we have okra, which is in season in July. I don't know if I've ever had okra. I have a bag of frozen okra in my freezer right now, and it's been in there for a while because I don't know what to do with it, but I picked it up to try it. So one good thing, I think I've said it before and I will say it again, frozen fruits and veggies are great because they are picked when they are ripe and then they are frozen. So there's little to no artificial ripening that's done between harvest time and when they are frozen. So frozen fruits and veggies, personally, I think are a great option to just keep on hand to try new fruits or vegetables, because they're picked when they're ripe, they're frozen, and then you can pop them in your freezer and keep them in there until you figure out something to do with them. But I will digress. And we will move on to our next summer produce item, which is a peach. So peaches are in season between May and October, and their peak is between July and August. Again, the same source that said nectarines are climacteric said that peaches are also climacteric. Then we have plums, which are in season between May and October. Potatoes are in season in the summer, mainly on the East Coast and in the Midwest. Raspberries are in season between July and October. Shallots are in season between June and September. Strawberries are in season between April and June. And there is going to be some overlap between produce seasons, and strawberries are one that stood out to me because they were in my spring produce episode, which I will link down below for you guys to listen to if you're interested. So the strawberry season is basically over by the time this episode first comes out. Then this one's going to shock you as a summer produce item. Summer squash. The name says it all. Summer squash is in season between June and August. So what is included in the list of summer squash. When I think of a summer squash, I think of the yellow zucchini. But zucchini, the green zucchini, are technically a summer squash. And there are a few others. Tatama squash, the patty pan squash, and the crookneck squash. So I just thought patty pan squash was a fun name. And they look kind of fun too. They kind of look like UFOs, but also they look like upside down flowers. So they're a cute squash, if I can say that. So my source said that summer squash are harvested prematurely so that their skin is still edible and tender. If that's true, I think that's a fun fact. Next on our list, we have tomatillos, which are in season between June and August. Tomatoes, including grape tomatoes, are in season between June and August. Watermelon as well are in season between June and August. And again, zucchini is on the list standing alone outside of summer squash. And also zucchini blossoms. So the zucchini flower, the zucchini blossom, which I don't know, do they have that short of a growing season? Does the plants tend to flower early and then produce the fruit later? So maybe zucchini blossoms are early summer? That's just my assumption. Now, the reason I know you can eat zucchini blossoms and I wasn't absolutely shocked that I found it on a list is because I've had them before. I've had them fried. And did they knock my socks off? No. But it was fun to eat. And if you fry basically anything, it tastes good. So look it up if you're interested. And lastly, so zucchini blossoms is actually a segue into the last item on my list. And it was like a fun surprise when I read it. And then once I read zucchini blossoms, I was like, oh, you know what? This. And so the last item on the summer produce list is edible flowers. So my source only listed two. It listed elderflowers and violets. For some reason, elderflowers sounds like, oh yeah, you can eat those. But violets? I'm just used to them being in like a bouquet. So I think it's fun that you can have edible flowers. But edible flowers was already on my list. And then I saw zucchini blossoms and went back to edible flowers. And I thought, you know what? You can make things with dandelions, like dandelion wine. So if you have a yard where you grow grass, you have dandelions if you haven't killed them with some kind of, if you haven't treated your lawn. So dandelions aren't bad. We don't like them in our yard, but they're good. You can eat dandelion greens. You can eat the dandelion flower. You can make dandelion wine. There's probably other things you can do with dandelions. So it may be a nuisance to your yard, but God gave them good properties. They are useful. So that is my list. I'm going to go through them all one more time. Just the names of the fruit or veggie without the season specifics or fun fact specifics. Just in summary one last time. In alphabetical order. Alphabetical order-ish. Close to it. Apples, apricots, avocado, banana, beets and beet greens, bell peppers, blackberries, boysenberries, blueberries, butter lettuce, broccoli, cantaloupe, carrots, celery, chard, cherries, corn, cucumbers, eggplant, figs, garlic, garbanzo beans, green beans, gooseberries, herbs, honeydew melon, lemons, lima beans, limes, marionberries, mangoes, nectarines, okra, peaches, plums, raspberries, strawberries, summer squash, tomatillos, tomatoes, watermelon, zucchini, zucchini blossoms, and edible flowers. And there you have it, folks. If I missed anything and you're listening on YouTube, go ahead, drop me a comment. If you guys liked this episode, you found it useful, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone who you may think find it useful. And remember, next time you're at the grocery store, maybe you'll see some of these items on sale. So pick them up. They're at their prime. It's the prime time to be buying and eating them. If they're on sale, stock up on them. You can freeze them yourself. Lots of benefits. Benefit your wallet. Benefit your body with some extra nutrients. Support your local farmer's market if you want to. Remember that Jesus loves you and he wants a relationship with you. Now, if you liked this episode and you're listening on podcast, be sure to give me a rating and review, good or bad. And then if you want more content from me, go ahead, click here on screen. I will put the last podcast episode up there, or I will pop the link down in the description for you guys, and I will see you guys there.